I guess to respond to you and ask you a question, what is the best way to reach the target audience? Like, I'm working with another group right now called Bunker Labs, which is trying to help veterans start businesses. And they've got an event tonight in Bozeman that I'm going to. And, there's a handful of people that know exactly what I'm talking about. And there's, 5 handfuls of people that have no idea what I'm talking about. So how do you increase that reach? So I'd love your opinions on what avenues would help more people or get the message out to more people.
That's a difficult question, I think. I think one of the biggest ways in the age and the world that we're in now is social media. I mean, everybody and their mom is on social media now. And so I think that might be a good way to get this stuff out. That's one of the ways that I spread the awareness of this event was I put it on my organization's Facebook and spread it out. But even then, if you're on Facebook and you're scrolling looking at, I don't know, cute puppy videos or something, unless you're really looking for something like this, unless this is absolutely what you're looking for, even on social media, it's still one of those things that's hard to make aware unless this is what you want to do. If you've decided that, okay, I'm tired of working for this boss, I want to be my own boss, then I'm going to go out and I'm going to start looking. But I know that's a tough one. Events like this, I think, is great. I honestly was trying to figure out this event and what it was, and then I showed up and still had no idea what it was. And now we're here, and this is great. This opportunity to be here and to be able to talk to you guys is amazing. So I think events like this definitely have a huge part, and I know that I'm going to be able to take this and bring it back to my organization and bring it back to our page. And so social media, events like this, maybe putting it out in the newspaper or... Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing that. And we have about 5 minutes left. So just wanted to kind of maybe go around the room really quick and just tell briefly what business you got involved in, and then just maybe an idea that you have. Okay. So we've got 10 minutes. Yeah.
I was just going to suggest, every time we got back from a combat tour, I was in the Marine Corps also, it was mandatory that your debrief was more like a counseling session to make sure your brain was still intact. And when you transition and get out.
We got legislative services asking you guys to speak into the mic more.
Okay. Can you hear me? And then when you get out and you transition out of the military, it's not so much transition into something else, but something out of the military. And then, I think a lot of guys feel like they're thrown to the wolves and have to fend for themselves. Instead, and I don't have a clue what it would take in legislation to get to this point, but instead of transitioning out of the military, transitioning into a business class where you're training every soon-to-be veteran how to start their own business, then you're reaching everybody. You can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. At least they have the information that way, and everybody has it.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. I every time I came back, it was out processing. That's what it was. You fill out a bunch of paperwork, they take some blood, and hopefully somebody came to pick you up. No, I get it, and I think one of the things that, like I said, that I try to promote is mentoring, servicemen and women on what's out there and what are you interested in. Let's find somebody that's in that business and see if you're still interested in it. But no, I think we do a tremendous disservice in not having more of a transition, not just like we called it, I don't know what you called it, we called it out processing, and that was it. But yeah, I appreciate that. And to keep the powers that be happy, we're going to kind of move along a little faster.
So, I'm Wayne Gardell, I'm District Director for the U.S. Small Business Administration, and comments like this have been listened to. So between the feds and the state, we do run a program called Boots to Business for veterans transitioning out. Unfortunately, it's an elective. I mean, you're not forced to go to these things. But we do them at Malmstrom, and we get, 200, 250 individuals transitioning out who are thinking like that. It's not perfect, but it's a 2-day session. It sort of focuses you on, are you ready to start a business? If so, what do you want to do? So it's out there, it's growing, it's getting better every year, but it's not broken.
Hey, Wayne mentioned the 7A loan program.
Yeah, and we also have the loan programs across the country. But in Montana, it's a joint venture between the federal, the state, and the locals. There's the small business development centers, there's veteran business center, women's business centers. So there's a good group of counseling services out there. The challenge we have is getting those names and that out into the public so people know they're there. I mean, the big frustration with us is SBA is one of the best kept secrets in the world.
Right.
Can I comment on that thing about the SBA? I kind of got a story to share after I make this comment, but I have reached out to the SBA in the past, and all I got was find information here, find information here. I got no results. I would just get the runaround to call this place, to call this place, to call this place, and I gave up. I did want to take a moment to answer Jesse's question earlier. I didn't get a chance to about what challenges veterans face when they get out. I feel maybe sharing my story might be a little bit appropriate for this. So I was 16 when I graduated high school. On my 17th birthday, I joined the U.S. Army as a combat engineer. I did 4 years, went to Afghanistan, and I returned to Montana after that, and I couldn't find a job for almost a year and a half. In that year and a half, I went from Browning all the way over to North Dakota, all the way down to Bozeman, driving to these places looking for jobs. I could not find any. There was a lot of jobs advertised, but as far as payment goes, I was making less than some other kids that were in high school at the time. And then I wound up in Alaska living in a pickup truck looking for work because I heard there was work up there. I could not find anything to save my life before I ended up going back to the regular Army. I get out this time, and I'm not going back to the Army again because I like my freedom. It was great while I was in, but the psychological effect is really draining on me. Anyways, looking for work and talking to the unemployment offices, I've been told that I'm overqualified. Things that I did in the military are very highly technical, and the jobs that I did find, I wound up losing the job, working out of a job, such as construction. I would go there thinking that, hey, I'm going to be a good employee, be here on time, do the work as hard, fast as I can, do the work so fast and hard that there's no more work for me, so I get laid off. Another challenge I had with that,
And Peter,
Yeah.
I apologize, but we're actually running a little bit over.
Okay.
You have 1 more minute.
Okay, so then I want to talk about the unemployment insurance. I tried doing that. I took a job, the only job that would take me paid $9 an hour. They ended up letting me go for some bullshit that I had no control over. I was entitled to unemployment when I left the Army because I took that job, and now I'm fired, and now I'm thrown to the sharks again. The VA takes a process. It's about 1.5 years it's taken me to get to a point where I can get the disability to actually survive. Otherwise, between semesters at school, I'm saving my pennies so I can survive between semesters. So these are different challenges I know I'm facing. I know other veterans are facing certain things. And I do realize that the civilian entities do not give credit where credit is due, especially when it comes to military. I do believe that Montana also has horrible, horrible employee protection laws. They don't do anything to protect employees. And I think when it comes to finding work, Montana legislatively needs to work better on creating laws to keep employers held accountable for how they fire employees. That's my 2 cents on that.
Thank you, Peter. So just wrapping up, we went a little long as usual, but can I just get a quick show of hands? I think one of the biggest, benefits to these kind of events, and I want to thank Sam and Drew and United States of Hope for putting this together, because I think where there's the most value of this is going to be with my next question. So can I just get those veteran business owners to raise up their hands again one more time? just keep those hands up. And if you're a veteran or you're somebody that's looking to start a business, the best thing that you can do is talk to somebody that's done it before. There's all these organizations, there's these small, the SBA, there's these government organizations, but the best thing, and you guys can put your hands down, but the best thing that you guys can do is speak to somebody that's done it before. They'll help guide you. They'll tell you what works. They'll tell you what doesn't work. And I want to thank Troy for participating in this. Incredible entrepreneur, again, a selfless veteran like everybody in this room. And I want to thank Sam and Drew one more time for putting this together. And with that, I'll turn it over to Sam.
That's the beauty of a roundtable and listening session, is it starts to foster ideas. I could see the gears whirring, and we never have enough time. So next session we'll try to make it an hour for a listening session roundtable. I thank you guys for all your feedback and input. But now is the time where we start to wrap up. We didn't really pick the legislators; they kind of picked us. But we really appreciate all they did with the convoys. And so we have Speaker Greg Hertz, Majority Leader Tashida, Senator Alcheski, Kim Dudek, Representative Kim Dudek, Representative Gardner, Representative Burgley, Mr. Joe DeFilippis. I'd actually like to have Joe up first, if that's okay, Joe. And Joe's going to speak to you a little bit. You guys got to hear from him earlier today. Joe, I'd love your feedback on the veteran convoys for the legislators, if you don't mind, since you're involved in that. And then 2 to 3 minutes, and then we'll have Representative Dudek after Joe.
Yeah, that sounds great.
And then
Thanks, Sam.
Frank Gardner. Okay.
Thanks, folks. My name is Joe DeFilippis. I've been with the Secretary of State's office for about 18 years now. I've been through 4 different administrations. About 15 of those years, I have been a part of Business Services Division. And the Business Services Division is basically everyone in here who has a business or wants to obtain a business needs to register their business name with our office. That's basically the first step you need to do before you get a tax ID number, before you get any type of professional occupational licensing or city or county licensing as well too. So your first stop should be the Secretary of State's office to make sure that the name's available to use, and then what type of entity, what type of structure you want that business to be, whether it's a corporation, an LLC, general partnership, a sole proprietorship, etc. We are here, my team, we have, there's 9 of us total. We're here to help commerce thrive in the state of Montana, whether it's for regular entrepreneurship or veteranpreneurship, which is the new kind of the catchphrase that I've heard from Sam over the past few months. So we're here to help you guys. I'll put my cards over there. You guys can call me. You can email me. I can assist you in any way that I can to help your business start and maintain your business as well. We do have some brochures over there that Jared had talked about. It's called the Start Maintain brochure. That's got a QR code on it. It's on the posters too for the USOH. And that's a website that I had helped develop to put out resources, more resources for businesses. There are a few veterans resources on there as well too, but for loans, SBA, SBDC, there's lots of, we've got about maybe 25 to 30 resources on there. We're always looking to grow that web page, to put more resources on there to make it easier for folks to want to start a business, maintain it, and grow it as well too. So we're here to help you. My team is here to help any way, shape, or form we can. So, and like I said, I'll have my card out there. Pass it around. You can give it to friends. We want to keep the network open. I don't want to just say after this is over with, we're done. So with that, I'll close it and I'll let other folks talk here to the legislators as well too. But we're here for business needs, and we want to help commerce thrive in the state of Montana. Thank you.
Thank you, Joe, and you have been a tremendous help to the veterans we've brought up on these convoys, and thank you so much. Real quick, do we have Speaker Hertz here? No? Okay, Majority Leader, do we have time with your scheduling for all 6 speakers? Is everything, how are we doing? Alchevsky's not going to be here? Okay. Okay, well, then if the legislators would just mind cutting their time, we understand. And we'll have you close for the day. And then we're going to do a quick group picture, if that's all right, with the beautiful paintings of David Williams. So without further ado, Representative Kim Dudek out of Missoula.
Thank you. Thank you, Sam. Thank you, everyone, for being here. And I'll be brief because I know the legislature, we're going to have to get back on the floor in about 7 minutes. So I just wanted, we've passed a lot of good veterans legislation this session, which is exciting. Some of the things specific to business that we've done is we passed one bill that deals with trade and marketing opportunities and for local, national, international, and regional marketing if you have a business. And we have made it so that we specifically focus on veteran, rural, minority, and women-owned businesses. And so that will be starting in the Department of Commerce. It's an expansion of a federally funded trade program. So I would encourage all of you to stay involved with that. Sam has my contact information, and so does Drew, and I'll ask them to send that around. So if anybody has questions, you can follow up. Another thing we've done is we've started a public-private partnership to provide help to address the untrained workforce needs we have in our state. And this could actually help really good transition veterans from the military into jobs if we actually get business entities, local governments, and some educational facilities all partnering together to address these unmet workforce needs. So that's exciting. That will be through the Department of Labor. It just passed yesterday. It's on its way to the governor to be signed. So that is a great new program. And just one last thing we've done is not so much business related, but it is dealing with improving our Veteran Affairs Division. We have a study resolution that's passed, and we will study from now until the next legislative session how to improve our Veteran Affairs Division with outreach and services to people in our state. And that could also look at transitioning out of the military, helping with businesses, how they can better service people. The new director is Kelly Ackerman. She is extremely excited about this, and I would encourage any of you to reach out to her. She's very open to improving the services they have. So again, thank you all for being here, and I'll let one of the other legislators speak.
We just have two more speakers, Representative Garner and Representative Tachita, due to the schedule. But I do want to say, Representative Dudek, you have been really incredible for the veterans in meeting with our convoys. Thank you. Okay, and also Representative Frank Garner out of Kalispell. Thank you.
Thanks, Sam, and I'll try to just take 2 minutes or less real quick, too. So I'm Frank Garner. I'm from Kalispell, House District 7, which is basically kind of downtown Kalispell. I'm a career retired policeman. I spent a year as a civilian in Afghanistan working with a PTAT team, so I have a little experience there. Plus, all three of my brothers, both of my sons are veterans, and I was in Afghanistan in 07. I've got a son who was in 03-11. He said he fixed everything after I was there. Maybe... Is that the way that worked? I don't think so, yeah. But, yeah, that's what he keeps telling me. But really appreciate your service, and I just want to put in a plug for how we can play a role in being advocates for you. And while I spend a lot of time, for instance, at the Veterans Food Pantry back home, I really don't get contacted that much by veterans to help with veterans issues, and I bet that's true for a lot of representatives. So, you know, there's books out front here where you can find out who your representative is and what their contact information. I would just encourage you to help use this as a resource to help plug you into those things that are out there that you can use and resources that are available. And thanks for letting us be here.
Thank you, Representative. Okay, and to close this out, you've also been very, very helpful to veterans. Thank you, Majority Leader Brad Tachita.
Well, thank you, Sam. But I think the kudos go to Sam, Drew, and the rest of the members because you guys are the ones that are creating and fostering this environment. I will be the most brief of the three because I believe in the Greek orator's method of oration. That is, you stand on one leg, and when your other leg hits the floor, then you're done. So I'm not standing on one leg, however. I am available to help out in any way possible. I think the job of the legislature is to essentially get out of your way and to make life easier for people who are starting up businesses. So feedback from that perspective is very important. Let us know what we can do to make your lives easier, to simplify things. We can't do things on the county or city level, but we certainly can on the state level to foster a better working relationship with business owners, especially veteran-owned business owners. So thank you guys. God bless you guys for what you've done for our country because we owe you a debt of gratitude we can't pay back. And Sam, Drew, thank you guys very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Well, the speaker had his word this morning. Majority Leader gets to close us out. For those that can, we're going to gather out front and do a group picture. But I'm going to allow one last minute for Mr. David Williams and Representative Hopkins. Come on up, Mr. Williams. And David Williams will be talking about his painting. Let's get the guiding flame, Drew. Come on over.
Hello, everybody. My name's David Williams, and I'm the founder of Joint Operation Mariposa. Joint Operation Mariposa is a rural veterans outreach organization in Plains, Montana. Excuse me. We deal with art, education, and therapy. Most of what we do is one-on-one work with veterans and suicide issues. We have no veteran service officer in our community, so we're trying to bridge that gap so guys have a place to go, right? So our main thing is giving veterans a purpose. And one of these purposes is artwork for me. That's how I found my way home. I'm a traumatic brain injury vet, and I suffer from seizures and depression. So I have a green horse over here. And last year in September, myself and my assistant, Haley Steinbeck, she is a freshman at Plains High School. We created this piece. It took us 20 months to paint it. This is just one piece of it. Okay, and this is for Green Star families, and that's families that are dealing with veteran suicide. This summer, we're planning on starting at Cape Flattery, Washington. We're going to line veterans up 1 mile apart, all the way across the nation to the Lincoln Memorial, and we're going to hand this to the nation when it gets to the other end. So there'll be approximately 3,000 other hands, or 3,000 pairs of hands that will handle this artwork before it gets there. It'll go through 4 Native American reservations, all right, and the reason for that is Native American suicide rates are almost as high as veteran suicide rates, and I want to make sure we highlight that. All right, so there's a custom frame being made to honor my brothers and sisters on tribal lands. One piece of the frame will go to each tribe or reservation, and they have an artist that they've already chosen that will do something to that. And when it gets to Washington, D.C., we'll frame it, and it'll be handed to the nation. Anything else? You have any questions for me? I am a National Archives artist, thanks to Sam and several other veterans organizations throughout the state. In October, a piece of my artwork was handed to the president. So, that's...
You want to do your signing and commissioning?
Sure. So, I never sign a piece of artwork until it's completed. All right, so that's the reason there's no signature on that horse, because it's not completed until it gets to D.C. Right, and in the route, there will be 3,000 other veterans' names added to that piece of artwork, as well as the 4 artists that create the frame. So this I've titled The Eternal Flame, unless you're a deck rat or a roof rat, which I was, and we deal with aircraft carriers and JBDs, and if you turn that sideways, it kind of looks like an afterburner to me. So if you're a vet and you like the piece, just say yes, and I will sign it, and it'll be complete, and Sam and USOH will be the proud owners of it. Do you guys like it, and do you accept it? Oh, yes. All right. So what I'll do now is I'll sign it.
All right. Representative Hopkins, you can hold it up?
That's okay, I know the artist, I can touch it, honest.
You got it, Mike?
It's been my pleasure and my honor to do this for you guys. Thanks
Give
for
him a hand.
accepting.
Give him a hand.
No, that gets to DC before it gets signed.
All right, I'm going to close this out. Thanks, David. Yep. Okay, this closes the Montana Veteran Business Summit. You are free to mingle. I appreciate the legislators staying. I know that you guys have a lot going on. If we can, we're going to take a quick picture right out the hallway to the left as a group, and then you all are dismissed. Safe travels. God bless you, and let's help Montana stay open for business. And Drew, you got one more thing?
Yeah, I got one more thing.
Okay, go ahead.
And everybody, I would like to just say one last thing. I just want to just give credit to God. My team, my committee, stand up, please, and just be recognized. And also, I want to give credit to the legislature and the senators for making this all happen. Thank you.
All right, you're dismissed. Thank you, guys. All right, let's grab the painting and we'll do a big group.